Oh, we are now. It's now streaming live.
Yay.
Hey. All right, hold up. Let me do this because this is what I have to do every single time. Go so I can check the live chat. Welcome in, everybody.
I can't see any of that. I'm just letting you know.
Don't worry.
Okay.
You don't need to.
Okay.
I will handle that just in case there's any questions.
Yeah. Dude, this is gonna be so fun.
I know, this is amazing. Okay, so we are live here. All right. Okay. Snap, crackle, pop. All right. So what's up, guys?
Yay.
Welcome. This is my sister AngelA. AngelA, say hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet everybody behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is very spontaneous. We talked about this, I don't know, a couple days ago that we were gonna go live. And now we're here. We're just doing the thing and showing up. And AngelA, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I met you. How long has it been now? It's been a couple months.
At least.
Yeah.
I feel like I met you in the astral long before you got here, but
well when I first met you, I heard it was 10,000 years since we've seen one another.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So definitely. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Thank you for showing up. We're just here celebrating victory, celebrating our light, celebrating our joy, and celebrating a lot of the arrival of these new pathways and propagating what this new means to us and how we can enjoy our new experience. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Just introduce yourself if you could, however you choose to. Introduce yourself.
I'm AngelA Campbell. I'm an aspect of my soul my original soul essence is the goddess Victory. I'm learning to embody this fully, and I just got to believe it every day. It's a long journey, but it's well worth it, and it benefits everybody. I see, I'm so nervous. I'm not the best at cameras. What else? I'm like one of the types of people that doesn't talk about themselves ever. It's like, this is all brand new for me. I'm usually the one that keeps what I thought probably to myself and allowed everybody else to have whatever they thought. And I'm learning to speak about this again. So it's been a process. I've also been on a healing journey. I'm a conscious parent. I'm of 3 beautiful children. Just waking up in the world like everybody else, day at a time, doing the best you can do every day and improving upon that best constantly.
Well, thank you for your vulnerability. Yeah. Thank you for your vulnerability. Because to show up and to say that is not easy.
No,
to show up in a stranger, like I'm not a stranger, but like to like a bunch of strangers and being like, that takes a lot. So first off, kudos to you. But I think it's really important too, because I know your story, enough of what we've discussed.
Yeah.
About how far you've come on your journey and how much you have to offer in regards to empowerment for people that are going from survivor mode to thriving. And everything you've encountered in embodiment, all the stuff you've had to shift through to get your soul online.
Definitely. And still am.
Right? And it's a constant process. It's a constant process of evolution, of evolving, of allowing, of feeling, and stepping forward into who you are. So thank you for coming forward and just showing up, right? Because I think the most important thing is just showing up sometimes. Just showing up.
It is.
Just showing up.
That's the hardest part sometimes. It was for me,
Yeah. Especially with everything you've been through.
Yeah.
But with that, the goddess Victory.
Yay.
Nike.
It was worth it for that.
Right? So when did you discover that was a version of you, that was a part of your essence?
Probably when I was unhooking from the divorce. It embodied in me fully, and I remembered home again, like my where I came from, where I what I was created for. Like I got to see, it was, well, first off, I was walking I want to say one of my biggest challenges, but I'm in another biggest challenge at the moment. So transversing it. But at that moment, which was, I don't know, like October last year, or October, November, whenever we did the moon mission with Galactic Tarot, it was right along that.
Yeah.
What was it
Shout out to
again?
November 19th, and shout out to Lunar Command for getting it done.
Loving that. Good job, everybody. You guys rocked. Anybody that's in here that watched that and participated. While I was doing that, when I unlocked myself from that challenge, it showed me that Source had created me for the purpose of, how do I say this the best way? It showed me a visual of the darkest dark, and it showed Source's compassion for this darkest dark, and it was like, these are the ones I can't seem to reach, and it hurts my heart to even have such a, thing that I can't fix or can't help, or like can't get through to. And I was basically created as a being that could get through in those areas where nobody else could. I'm like the path builder, I guess you would say. And it literally said that I was now considered a good luck charm for Gaia and humanity, and that my soul essence, as I share it with people, my frequency kind of does soul retrieval by itself, just by my being next to you, which is funny because I'm the type of person that doesn't want to be by people. I prefer being by myself and having my own energy and my own thoughts. And like, so that's a challenge I'm working through currently by doing this video with you today and creating a channel here very shortly that allows me to be around other people more and more. I think that's good on that one. I can't remember what else. There was more, but.
Well, and it's, see, the main thing here too is that your codes, right?
Yeah.
Your codes. When we are on this journey of awakening, as we are walking through our quote unquote problems, and we're retemplating what it is to be the divine human in all of our versions, right?
Yeah.
We start to upload solutions, right? And I want to talk about your codes because you've helped me a lot. When we're talking, you're like, hey, code dump, Corey, solutions. And you're like, you go through a little shake and bake. And then we but this is why some of us, right? Like, to step out of the victim role and the victim mentality for all of us is that we walk through our problems to discover solutions. We take those solutions, we bring them forward for humanity. Right. And some of this is like, we can vocalize these solutions, right? But a lot of it's not for the logical mind. It's for our DNA.
It is.
It's for our DNA. It's for our soul essence. And that's why it's really, sometimes just the pure presence of us showing up with our heart light is enough.
Yeah.
And I want to remind everyone of that like sometimes we feel like we have to go into this like really deep esoteric and it has to sound good. It needs to be fluffy and cushioned. No, dude, your pure presence alone is needed right now.
That was part of my challenge. Was I was like, I'm not like all the other light workers. Like, I can't, well, I can, but you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I don't do anything. I'm just there. And like, how do you, make a living off of that? How do you get people to even believe it? First off, I mean, it happens whether they want it to or not, but like, just from being in the present, sometimes I get more work and get through to people more by saying nothing, by just being there. It seems like their defenses are down and the realness can actually be perceived, and it's super cool.
Yeah. And there's also this level of, the one thing I love about you, AngelA, is there's this empowerment that comes through you. Like when I get that call,
like it always,
I'm like, oh my God, it's AngelA, start getting all big and puffy. No, it's the thing is though, is you hit a really key marker here. And this is something we're all templating as a result of solutions, myself included, right? Because I myself am like, how do I show up as pure presence and make a living doing that?
I know. because the second you're in that question, you're out of it. You know what I mean? Like, pretty much.
Exactly. But that right there is like, that's the thing about us obliterating all the limitations and all those old structures and all those confinements of needing to and having to, right? Is that like, we just show up as authentic source expression of ourselves. We let it flow. And just, and that's the thing, is that, you know, there's so much in the cultural templating that occurs where it's like, oh, I need to show up this way, or I need to look this way, or I need to, you know, and it's like, we don't. We can just show up as pure source presence and then just allow it to flow organically and see what comes through.
You know, it's funny. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
What's funny is my team, due to this spinal injury that I had a while back, I'm currently walking out of this challenge at the moment. Due to this injury, it's funny, I ended up learning to have confidence with like zero makeup, zero hair done, zero nice clothes, zero everything. I had to learn. That was one of my challenges. I got to learn how to be not swayed in those ways. It was challenging to actually embody that, but like it's priceless now that it's there. Like, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Like, can you go out, like most girls, I know guys, I might be a little different here, but like most girls would be like, I can't go out without my face on, you know, and they're meaning their makeup or their hair done right, or they're like, I can't have anybody see me like this. And like, those are all programs, every one of them, every single one. Like, you got to be confident being you, no matter whether you're in, you know, like old beat up clothes or brand new, you know, whatever. Can you be the same in either?
Yeah. And I will say this, I do worry about those things because I am a Leo.
That's
okay. I am a Leo, right? So that's just natural. You know, my perm needs to be up, my mane needs to be tamed.
Oh my goodness.
Just kidding. No, but this is a key one because I encountered this with the homelessness. Right. Which was like, how come I can't be her? Like, because I noticed this is that I would go out onto the streets and have these conversations and meet these angels everywhere that had so many beautiful solutions.
Yes.
But the thing is they look smoked out the game, you know? So as a result, it's like, who's going to listen? Well, this is where humanity needs to start paying attention. With the most respect, right? Is because like that too, like, so even showing up with like the beauty, like with the beauty remarks, that brings its own challenges too.
Yeah.
You know, especially being a woman right now, especially
those homeless people might be like galactics. Like, I've had encounters where I met, how do I say this? Like, met somebody on the street, let's say, just randomly walking by, and they'd have like this glow to them. And I was like, what the heck is that? That's super cool. And it was almost like they read my thoughts of my thinking that and gave to me like that's how they visit us sometimes, just to see like a temperature of humanity, a temperature gauge. Like, what better way to get an accurate temperature gauge of humanity than to pretend to be that, a homeless person? You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
For real.
And the thing is I've had this happen too, where I had a moment a couple months ago where I was going to a grocery store, and my song, I have this song that comes on, it's Good Riddance by Green Day, right? And that's my song, that's my test song. That's my universe is going, we're throwing an initiation at you. Let's see how you handle it, right? And I went up, I was at Vaughn's in we call it's Vaughn's in California. Out here it was it was Vaughn's. It wasn't Safeway, it was Vaughn's. And I walked up and there was a homeless guy in front of, and he's like, hey man, do you have any money? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Do you need anything? He's like, no. He basically, something said I need to help this guy out, right? I had already gotten the initiation thing, and I saw in his eyes. His eyes were so bright blue. I was like, there's a master inside of that suit.
See, you know what I'm talking about right there.
And he would be like, and he's like, you know, talking in circles. But I'm like, bro, I hear you. I know you. and we ended up basically, to make a long story short, I ended up dropping, and I didn't have the money at the time, but I dropped $200 to get this guy on a bus to get him to Florida so he could go pay for a court ticket, basically. Like, he was just trying to go get his court stuff settled. But the thing is that that when it comes to our mastery, it doesn't always show up with the guru in a white robe and in a cave.
Never. Almost never, I would say. Yeah.
No, not nowadays, unless you're Sadhguru or one of those guys. But like nowadays, it doesn't show up like that. It doesn't show up with the white picket fence and the Ferrari. No.
Yeah. It's like, are you listening? Are you paying attention? Like, would you even notice source itself? Like, where's source in your life? It's there. I guarantee you it's there.
Yep.
Are you open to even looking for it? Or would you even recognize it if you saw it? You know?
And could you look it in the eyes?
Yes. Would you feel worthy?
Because that's the thing, is there's a lot of people that look away, like at those people, and you look and you can, like when you feel, because the eyes are the windows of the soul. So you look right into those eyes and you're looking right into someone's soul.
Oh yeah.
And as a result of that, it's like, can you look within and peer into the eyes of God and love it just as it appears?
Yes.
You know, and that's a big one of the cultural template and the things that are going to be very important for us because the messengers are coming online, the oracles, the knowers, the way showers, and it's not always on YouTube with a channel.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the homeless man on the street, or it's the guy in prison, right? Or it's the guy at the corner liquor store, right? We never know when God's going to appear before us.
Yeah.
And it's actually always existing within all of us. It's just a matter of whether we can see the spark of truth within that and really truly honor the fact that God's source light, the original creator of our soul, exists within everyone that we encounter.
Right? Yes. But you treat everybody, even yourself, as such, you know?
Okay, that's a good one. Treating self as such.
Yeah.
How has that evolved for you in regards to self-care and self-love?
I'm still learning it, but like it's definitely learning to see yourself, I'd say, as a loving parent would. Just kind of how I like to look at it. Yeah. Like, can you have that space for you that mother, father, source would have towards you? Because like when it showed me how it felt towards all of humanity and how it felt towards, the darkest dark that does the darkest things, it was so much love. It was so much love. Like, just blew me away how much freaking love. And I was like, we have no idea how much we're blocking these things every day, by feeling unworthy, by feeling. Did I freeze? Did you freeze?
Nope.
Okay. Dang, you're still. You're like a statue. Okay, where is it going? Source as self. Let's start over because I think I lost it. But when I started looking at it from that aspect, that's when I got to see sources everywhere. It's in everyone. Like I would have like birds, wild animals, recognize me looking at the world from that viewpoint. It's almost like a channel you tune in, let's say, that perspective. And it was almost like source would give you like a cosmic wink or a cosmic energetic flash through plants, through animals, through birds, through other people. Like I remember there was one day I was in a glasses store. My daughter was picking out glasses, and I was so in that lesson teaching of my stream, and I was playing with it. And it's like one of the times I got to, I don't want to say had to, I got to like allow my source spark to speak through and for me for like a whole entire day. And it was like the most magical things occurred this day. It was super cool. I'll talk about that afterwards if you want. But the time with the glasses store, my daughter was all busy, and like when I'm out in public, I feel everything. I'm such a feeler. Like it's almost too much sometimes, but this day was one of those days where everybody was actually like content and kind of happy inside. And it was just like they enjoyed where they were and what they were doing. And I took a second to just honor that, I guess you'd call it. And I was like, my source self, I was like, hey, source, look at this, like I'll give you the opportunity to shine your light through me in this moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was 3 people in the store at this moment. One was my daughter, one was the lady that was helping her, and then one had just come in and she was looking at some glasses. None of these people were actually looking at me. Okay, none of these people knew that I was doing this at this moment. It was just like one of those moments where it's almost like it was safe to show my light, it was safe to shine, it was safe to be myself. And I like relaxed into it. And as soon as I went into this source level, the lady right in front of me, my daughter was normal because she's kind of used to me and my stuff, but the lady right in front of me, I noticed she was like, at first she was like hunched over, kind of doing something like this. The second that I did it, she went and like stopped for a second. Her whole body, like she recognized it. And one of her higher ups literally stepped into her body, turned around and looked at me right in the eyeballs, and they looked back as their source self. And I was like, oh my damn, like this was like a person that's not even on the awakening journey. This was an everyday person. Blew me away.
So
It was
cool.
the coolest freaking moment, like one of them anyway. I
Yeah.
have a lot of cool stuff like that.
Willing to step in to be an instrument of the divine. I remember when you told me about doing that, about just like, hey, just be pure essence, right? Because we can get into the archetype and the architecture so much, right? All the various I ams, right?
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is that a lot of it can get pretty grandiose, right?
Yeah.
It can, and I've seen people take it way too far. But like, to just be an instrument of creation, just one with the creator and allowing it to flow through you. I want you to expand on that a little bit. And then I want to ask you about parenting, being a conscious parent, because I'm interested because like, I'm still learning how to parent my inner child, right? And like, and also I know I'm going to be a dad one day. And like, how the heck is Papa Corey going to show up, old ancient dragon, and not bring fire down every human I see that dare looks at my kid one way? And where do I not go dagger-eyed?
That is one of the hardest things to undo, man. Oh man.
Right?
Yes. You might want to start working on it now. I recommend that. Yeah.
That's why Andrew is my friend.
Well, think about it. If you have that and you have that, that's literally just a button that can be pushed and used against you.
Hello. Yes.
Like how many people lose their freaking lid, to somebody doing something towards their child. And I'm not saying that I don't as well, because like that's one that you got to constantly keep up on. You know what I mean? Like you can't let your guard down on that one at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
anyway.
No. Thank you for that. Thank you. Back to being the instrument of the divine and just like walking around. Because I remember when you told me about that, just try being just eternal, just be eternal and walk around and live as that. What inspired you to do that? To just open up your heart, to allow source to speak through you, and to allow like source to drive the wheel?
Well, everybody's got their source spark, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what's purer than your source spark? I was like, I'm gonna play with it. I want to know what it's like. I want to know when I'm using it. I want to recognize it in other people. At this time in my life, I was going to a pain clinic every 2 months, and it was like an hour away from my house. It was an hour away drive, and it was one of those things that was like not fun to go to, because like when I would go there, I would feel all the other people that were in pain. It was a very heavy place and a very heavy stuff. And so I was attempting to distract myself, I guess, from the old patterns that I had built over and over again of going to these appointments. So I was like taking myself out of that, and I was like, what do I put in its place? And it was like one of those days where like today, where you're just feeling really, really good. And so when I was driving, I was like, I'm going to play with my source spark and see like if other people notice my doing so. or just by doing this, I was allowing codes to be given to humanity through me. I've noticed that as I relax and don't think about it, like the stuff just comes out automatically in the highest and best good ways, harming none, always. And that day I was driving, and like I said, it was like an hour, and I was playing with it, and I'm doing it right now. I don't know if you can feel it. You can. It's just wiggle.
Yeah, we're just code sharing. We're just like, okay, let's just code dump.
So I was like, I'm gonna broadcast this. I mean, I obviously had my hand on the wheel. I was driving, but like my other hand, I was literally just everybody that went by driving, I was passing this and just running this frequency. And my team at the moment was like, they're always one-upping me, I guess you'd say, in a good way, being like, okay, you want to do that? I dare you to allow the force to speak for you for the whole entire day. Could you do it? And I was like, oh my damn, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And they're like, it's source. Like, come on. And I'm like, all right, fine. And it was, like I said, it was out of town. So I was like, it's all these people I don't know anyway. So fine, let's do it. Let's go. And so I didn't say anything. Like, I made the deal and I could feel it like solidify. And I'm like, oh man, I'm in it now. And they're like, all you have to do is say it, everything that they say to say. And I'm like, or that your source self says to say. It was the most comical day I ever had in my life. It was like just the funniest things they kept giving me. It's so funny. I ended up going to like the appointment, lit up the whole place. Like the doctor, by the time I left, she's like, you're one of my favorite people, and I don't know why, but I just gotta hug you today. And just like everybody was overly friendly and overly happy, and it was just like it uplifted everyone that I had contact with. I went to Hobby Lobby and I was like standing in line, and one of the things they had me say was, they're like, turn around and apologize to the people behind you, because like, you know, it was one of those situations where the price tag isn't there, and
yes,
got to go run. And I knew it's like all the way in the back of the store where I had got it, and I was like, oh my damn. And they're like, turn around and apologize to every one of these people here and authentically mean it as you do it. And so I did, and like all of them changed their whole structure and relaxed and like calmed down and like left completely different, and everybody was uber friendly. I left that place and I went to Costco next, and as I'm walking through the store, I see these pineapples, and there's this guy standing looking at his phone but standing next to the pineapple stand. And my guides were like, you're gonna talk to him and he has to pick your pineapples. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, what? And they're like, because I'm not the type of person that goes around talking to strangers. Like, to me, this was so far out there and so out of my comfort zone and so hilarious. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so, and I had to say, or I got to say everything that Source wanted me to say it. So like, I start talking to him and I'm like, how did I say it again? I'm like, how do you know which ones are ripe? And I just like, you know, was saying what they wanted me to say. And this guy was like, oh, and he like stands up all straighter. He's like, this woman needs my help. You know, I'm going to save the day.
Yeah. Chivalry
nice
isn't dead.
Woman. Yeah.
White knight.
And I was like, I swear, I was thinking in my head, I was like, I swear to God, I'm not hitting on you. Just please just help me pick a pineapple. So he literally keeps talking and talking. He goes around the whole stand like 3 different times and he hasn't touched one pineapple. And I'm like, oh my damn, how are we going to do this? Yeah. Because I was supposed to leave with the pineapple, right? And it was almost like he knew on some level, and he was doing everything in his power to not pick one for me. And so I just kept like asking him exactly what my source was saying to say. And it just like, by the time we were done, we were laughing, like everybody, like it was so unreal. And so long story short, he picks up 2 pineapples at the end, and he's like, she has to pick now, is what he's thinking, you know. And I was like, I was like, joke's on you. I'm taking them both. And he's just like, it
Yeah,
was super funny,
yeah.
but it was hilarious. Like
Okay.
I would recommend that to everybody. Try it. Like, can you do it?
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
trust your source self to talk for you for an entire day?
Mm,
For an entire day. I did it.
mm.
It was like when I got home, I was telling my man, I'm like, you wouldn't believe the stuff that happened. Like he was crying, laughing so hard at some of the situations that I got in because they were so like inner child funny and just harmonious, just uplifting. Like
Hmm.
play with it. For
Yeah.
real. It was so fun. It was like one of the funnest things I've done yet, I would say.
By the way, challenge accepted, and I invite anyone watching this to do it.
Yes. It's so
Right?
fun.
Challenge totally
It's so
accepted.
fun.
But the here's the thing, and I think this is such a good segue for what's been coming up for recent things. We'll just put it
Yeah,
there. The
sure.
joy and innocence of source.
Yes.
The joy
Yes.
and innocence of source.
Yes.
And I think that's such a beautiful walkthrough, and
Yes.
so relieving to know that you can live as that eternal self and go like excuse my language, family, but fuck around and
Yeah.
find out. Literally,
Well,
just go
yeah.
fuck around and find out and go see
You
where
are
it
a piece
takes
of
you.
source,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what's your version of source like? Like, it doesn't have to
Yes.
be like anybody else's. What's your flavor of source?
Yeah.
Does your
Yeah.
flavor of source vape? Does your flavor of source smoke? Like, what do
Mhm.
you do?
Yeah.
Can you find ways to not do it and, to where you're beating yourself up every freaking day over it?
Right. Yeah. Right.
Sometimes it's not about changing the situation, it's changing how you relate to the situation, you know?
Can you just drop a mic drop on that one? Oh shit. Hold on, let's
Thank you.
dust off your shoulders a little bit. Ugh. And that's the radical acceptance of unconditional love of source,
Yes.
right? The eyes of
Yes.
God. My
Yeah.
neighbor the other day, okay. So we were driving back from the store, and it was just one of those days where it was impatient driving. It was like,
Yes.
and so I saw Sunset Adventures with Jesus, and I was like, I wonder what an adventure with Jesus would be like. And I was like, you know what? I think Jesus would let us do whatever the heck we wanted and just love us
Yes.
unconditionally through the process. Right. And then my neighbor,
Yeah.
of course, had said, well, he won't let you do a satanic ritual. And I was like, you know what, though?
He
I
probably
actually
would.
wrote,
He'd be like,
I look, you can see Jesus being like, no, do that. I'm just going to love you through the process. And he's going to love you so much you don't want to do it anymore. Right. Like, it's just unconditional. But
Yeah.
that right there is such a key thing that I've been diving into too, is like really stepping away from the new age narration, the what I need to be, the cultural templates, to allow myself to just be as I am here and now, and allowing that to flow with the current, because it's the individuation that creates the mosaic, right? Each fractal serving the whole, every cog is has a necessary function in the wheel of life, and in the
Every
wheel,
one of them.
every one of them, good guy, bad guy, all of it. Like if we want to play in the dualistic constructs, right?
Yeah.
But that right there is such a key, is the acceptance that we as the individuation are perfect just as we are, and see each other through the eyes of God, which is the divine perfection of that in fact this whole time we've been innocent.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But due to constructs of biblical nature, we are born of sin. Basically, we're born fucked. No, we're not. We're born innocent. We're born pure.
Yes. Yes.
And
they
bred
can't be
into
beaten,
judgment. Yeah. Yeah.
It's all, I don't know, like when I saw Source looking at the darkest dark through my eyes and showing me my creation moment, it literally showed me that they're still in God's plan to some degree. You know what I mean? Even when they're saying, I'm not working for him, I'm not this, I'm not, like, you can't not, like everybody's got their role, everybody's got their place, and everybody is important. Everybody is a star of their own stream, Yes. Like I see it as galactics and all the other dimensional versions, like they're all watching us. Like we're the biggest reality show. Like when you do something really, really lit, they're like, do you feel and hear and see the applause and the, just, they're so proud, like of every one of us. They're so proud,
Yeah. And that's the thing, is being able to tap into and to witness that essence of the celebration, that they are celebrating us. And that to me is always 10 of cups energy. Like whenever I see the 10 of cups, it's not only that we're celebrating the victory, like we're celebrating the wish fulfillment, but the divine is celebrating us.
Yes.
But the
Always.
thing is it's so easy to get caught in the third and fourth dimensional traps of like, you know, the different holograms and the different things and the tricksters that are like, no, you're a fucking,
Yeah.
you know, and all the weird gremlin stuff that we run into, right? But like, in fact, like the mother, the father, the all are witnessing the magic unfold right now on the grand stage of reality that is the planetary ascension of Gaia.
Yeah.
And as a result, we're all here just playing our part. Whether we're the dude on the street, we're the way shower on YouTube, or we're the novelist, right? That's, you know, whatever, writing a movie, or, you know, whatever it is, we're all here playing our part. And I love that you talked about the celebration, how they're celebrating us, because I feel like that's an essence we all need to tap into, because it's been heavy, it's been heavy since 2020. It's been heavy.
Yes.
So
not just them too. Like I've noticed, like the plants, the animals, Mother Nature, Galactic Gaia, like they're celebrating us as well.
huge.
Like they notice when one of us light beings walks by, they notice, and they'll like cosmic flash you, or you source flash you. I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah.
Back. Yeah.
Minus the Mardi Gras beads. Just kidding. Source flash, Mardi Gras beads. I'm just being silly.
It's like, which channel are you going to tap into? You always have a choice. I kind of see it as like a carnival of anything and everything. You know, my team has showed me that we're connected to everything that ever is and ever will be, is all connected to the us we are now today, and, you know, our paths that we're taking, that are designed authentically for you, and there is no like wrong way, because there's just your way, whatever that is. And that it's, how do I say it, it's interacting with you constantly, and it's almost like, I kind of see it as, how do I even articulate that? Like other, I'm going to use the right words. It's almost like going out every day when I go to see other people and interact with other people, and especially ones I don't know, I'm meeting new people, let's say. It's almost like, which version of Earth are you from? Or which version of the cosmos are you from? Which version of the, like, it's always a surprise. They're all here already, you know? Like everybody's like, when are the aliens going to come? When are they going to show themselves? Like they already are. They're here. They're us. You know, they're like, we're pieces of every single one of them, is what I've been shown. We're like the smoothie of awesomeness that hasn't ever been. Like there is nothing better than what we are. Like, can you wrap your mind around that and embody that as you are, you know? And remember that daily.
Yeah.
I mean, I have bad days too. Don't get me wrong. I just went through a doozy of them. You witnessed a lot of it. Yes, that was like, when I make a mess, I make a mess. You know.
Good at cleaning them up. You're so good at cleaning them up. And I know most of those nights too, I was with you with the head under the blankets. Like, oh God, let's hide. I want to ask you though about this. How, if you feel guided to share with us some of your wisdom. By the way, you're on fire, girl. By the way, like I'm just sitting here so proud of you, cheerleading, rooting you on, dude.
Thank you.
You're just high five over the air.
Yes. Takes
how do
one
you
to know one, by the way.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you. I
Love
appreciate
you
you. How do you set up your stream? Because you were talking about the channel. Okay, you were talking about you can tune into the channel, right? Do you consciously set up your stream for the day, or is it something that's become automatic? Because I know for me, my higher self stream is most of the time automatic.
Yeah.
But do you have a way to be able to, have you discovered a way to set up your stream with what you're tapping into? Because I agree with you about, we talk about the 7 realms of Gaia, the 7 heavens, right? Like, which is a lot of, I know Sandra talks a lot about that work of like the seven realms of Gaia and the different initiations and the stages.
Yes.
When it comes to multidimensional New Earth, but it also comes to the stream of what you're connecting to in regards to your other dimensional versions. Do you have a way that you consciously participate in the connection points of your stream?
Well, most of it was through the sun, I would say, and through the crystalline grid of heart of Gaia, her crystalline core, and New Earth grid. I would say, who else? I just like intend to hear my highest assistance at that point. I don't always have to know who it is or what it is. I literally have like a crowd, and like it's almost like they're back to the side, and whoever is appropriate for whatever I'm doing or needed seems to step forth and through me. And a lot of times I was doing that daily, every day, connecting in, from like the great central sun to the portal our sun to, like all the things, to my angelics, to my highest supporters and fans, let's say, of the highest and absolute best good. I claim it as sacred space every day. Like, this is my space to learn in. This is my space to, like, I'm responsible for this space. You come in this space, it's my rules, at this point, not anybody else's. And if you're uncomfortable with that, like, stay out of my reach. You know what I mean? Like, you're okay over there. If you have to be next to me and you're still uncomfortable with it, it's almost like I'll move my field to where they're still out of it. You know what I mean? But a lot of it's really automatic, but I found, just like the other day when I was going through all this stuff, where you kind of feel like you're lost, even though you're not. It's good to reestablish it, because what I've learned is you're never the same person every day. Like, every day you're a new person. Every conversation we have, you're talking to a different me. Every video I make, you're seeing a completely different me. And vice versa, same with everyone else. Like, everybody thinks, oh, I know this person, I know them very well, I know them better than they know themselves, or like, no, they've showed me, they're like, this person. Okay, for example, let's say this is how they showed it to me. They're like, do you see your kid this morning? You're saying goodbye to them as they go to school, you're doing your thing. This person that you're speaking to currently right now is not going to be the person that you're going to see later tonight when they come home. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're like, do you see how energies are going to interact with them throughout their day that are changing and refining their soul for what they're here to learn? And when they come back, it's a completely different you and a completely different them. And when I started looking at everything like that, I started seeing all the other dimensional versions working through them clearer. It was like, it gave me a baseline to perceive that better. And I kind of enjoy Alexander Mazone, because he's a really good example of never the same person twice. Not in a bad way. I'm very similar, but I enjoy like watching it and seeing the changes. And I kind of like have been in his thing for a while, so I was like, I'm gonna build a friendship with each one of these different versions of him. And it's hilarious, because like, if you mix them up, like, watch out. It's like it's not like they'll be an a-hole about it or anything, but they're quick to be like, nope, wrong one. So, God, and they're keeping track. And so, I'm like, dang. But I mean, the possibilities of like what we could actually do, we have no idea. There's so much like to unfold and unpack, and it's like, we got to let go of the day-to-day stuff in order to unpack all those things and do all those things, and even learn those things. It's like, me, myself, I want simple. Like, I'm very complex, but I'm very simple and basic at the same time. And it's like, there's so much complexity in the simpleness, is what I'm finding. There's so much complexity in the silence, is what I'm finding. Like the most. And to me, like a silent stream is my goal every day. And so, like, you're closest to your source self when your stream is silent. Does that make sense? And can you sit in that silence? Like, it's so good. It's my favorite place to be. Like, that's one of the reasons I didn't want to go public and didn't want to come out and be around people. I'm like, how do I bring that silence to the world? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm giving you stank face right now. You're on fire. You're on fire right now. You're just talking to my soul right now. Yes. Okay. And that's, by the way, shout out to Nazi Star. Shout out to Mazone. Shout out to Mazone. And the multiple versions of us that show up every single moment. I love it.
They're so fun.
The silence is golden, right? Like, because I've been encountering this lately. It was the other day. I was tuning in because we're propagating all this newness, right? And I'm like, okay, it's crystallized. I need to build these realities. What do I need to do? And it's been nothing but silence. And I was talking about that today, where it's like,
good.
There's sometimes a judgment or perception. What am I doing wrong? Right? My guides aren't like screaming in my ear, right? Like,
I'm supposed to.
No, exactly.
And you don't believe how many people are so uncomfortable with that silence. Like, think about it.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen people's like crawling out of their, just to get away from my frequency. Ones that can't handle, like ADD people a lot. Like I had siblings that had a lot of, like, every one of my siblings had ADD of some sort. And I remember one of my brothers, who's like my favorite brother, like, it was a challenge for him to be around my frequency, especially when I was in that silent space, as a kid. And just, he was like, it was almost, I don't even know, it was almost too much for him. I don't know.
It's such a sacred space to be in that silence.
And I'm not saying I had the sacred space as a kid. I didn't. That's only as an adult. But like, whatever closest version of that as a child is what I'm meaning there. Yeah.
Well, and our light disrupts. Like, our light is very much so. It is a disruptor of the ego. And it's gonna blow people's stuff wide apart, like wide open.
Oh, that might have been it too. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like I was just talking to I was talking to someone about this the other day, where we were talking about why is it that, because some of us encounter this where it's like, you don't got to do anything, and this was my life, right? It was like, all right, let's just show up. Hi, I'm Corey, and everyone's like, oh! And like heads are spinning, and all of a sudden schools are closing, and violence is ensuing. You're like, what the fuck am I doing? Right? Like,
yes, I know.
But that's us in our purified source self. That's the innocence that has been stolen from us, and that we're now retrieving through what we are doing by realigning, by reconnecting, by envisioning, by believing in love, and believing that no matter what, we are the divine innocence, and we are the essence of that play as source consciousness. Our light does disrupt. It creates change, and it's cool because it's change through silence.
But it's change like on purpose, intentional, creational change, like conscious creation versus having it on accident. And light can be very much disrupting as dark. Like, think about it. They're both equally dangerous in the wrong context or the wrong place at the wrong time, because like, think how many times you, I don't know, get puffed up from watching something and then you have the giant crash later on. You know what I mean? Like, like both are building and destroying constantly. It's learning when you're doing which and why. And is that in everybody's highest good for that to come down or for that to be built?
Exactly. Well, and the thing is that this comes back to, for me, that which is not pure shall crumble.
Yeah.
Which means if you're just being your light, you're being your essence. Because a lot of it too is like, there are many people that, because of how disruptive that current can be for their lives and how isolative it can be for those of us that have, like, you get into a relationship and all of a sudden everything falls, or like you meet a friend and all of a sudden they hate you, right? And you're like,
for a very long time.
And it's riding that wave of like victim narrative until you recognize I cannot dim my glow anymore.
Yeah.
I have to have my light all the way on.
Yeah.
And I have to express it fully.
And these people don't fit me anymore, you know,
Exactly.
where I'm going and who I want to be.
Yeah.
You know, because you are a reflection of the people you hang around with the most. You know, I've noticed, this is how I see it. I'll share it. Literally everybody's got their field space, and it's like, okay, say you got a family.
Mm-hmm.
This family has little, like I see it as little heads, floating heads of not of your other dimensional versions, but of family members, let's say, or friends. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're connected in some way, shape, or form with these people. And it's almost like you guys have this line that you're sharing energy with constantly, back and forth, whether you know it or not, just by
Mm-hmm.
claiming this person as part of your anything. And it's like, I noticed if I connected to somebody disharmonious, like energy, like somebody that I had to let go of prior in order to get here on my path, somebody that is dear to me in every single way. My youngest brother is the example I'm using here. And if he sees this, I love you, I miss you. I've been shown that people in my town are going to see my videos too. That was another one of the reasons why I didn't want to go public. And this is hard for me, but I'm just going to say it. Being connected to his energy again, it caused not only disruptions in my world, but in the other people's if it gets past you. And it's like, there's ways to create spaces, but you have to, like, everybody has to want to be on the same page, and everybody has to like be responsible and in check for their own energy. And you can't be like carrying anybody. Basically, you are responsible for self at all times. And it's like, it really shows up in your field and in your creational energy when you're around these other kinds of influences, let's say. I see it as like a tank of gas. Like, what are you putting in your source tank, you know, every day to use as your fuel for creation, like consciously.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even know how to articulate. I swear I'm doing a bunch of telepathic things at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be responsible for what you're thinking. You got to be responsible for what you're listening to. You got to be responsible for who you're talking to, and you know, like all these different things. But this grid that you can build with people, there's a way to build it to where everybody benefits and everybody is on close to the same page, or allows you to be yourself. And like, I don't even know, I feel like it's how we were prior to being unplugged. Does that
Yes.
make sense?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's very co-creative, and it's very, I just got a glimpse of what you're doing right now, and I just want to say thank you, because we are cosmically weaving right now, like, and I can feel the streams and how we're building the grid and helping one another out, and I just want to say thank you. I honor your work, and just such an honor to be here and to watch you just cooking right now. So
Started.
but it's like, it's back to, it's like right what you have, the placemat that's right behind you over your left shoulder. Check your energy before you come in this house, right?
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing, guys, is that we have to take ownership of our energy, because our energy is our creation.
Yeah.
That is the basis of our realities, whether people want to believe it or not.
Basically, it's your fuel for creation. What are you using as materials?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And when you're just starting out, I mean, you're going to have some cruddy materials. I did too. You're responsible for take that which is unworthy and turn it into that which is worthy. Alchemy. Like, you're magical. Use your magical abilities, make it up. That's how I did it. It was super fun. It was like, okay, using, I don't know, like products like a lotion that says like beautiful day or something. Like I just saw this one today and I was thinking about it and I was like using that lotion on purpose because, you know, like, how do I say this? Through another dear friend of mine, little Divine Love Group, Beth George, she showed me that water codes are a big deal, and that like if you say you're working on something and you want to better yourself, I drink tea every day, so I literally made this jug and put affirmations on it, basically, of where I wanted to go and what I wanted to work on, and I would drink them every day. Like, and the lotion thing is like you're using products every day, like, which some, if you actually read the writing on them, like the product is absorbing those words every day. So like pick products that are like I said, the lotion said beautiful day on it, and so like use that as like a permission slip to, oh, I'm putting this on my skin, I'm gonna have a beautiful day, you know what I mean? I'm just little things like that I found very, very helpful in my
And that's
life.
Yeah. And it's funny because we were actually talking about water consciousness last night in our Patreon group.
Nice.
In Idris Days with Corey, we were talking about water consciousness and the
Nice.
programming, Dr. Emoto work.
Like we are water. Yes.
Yeah, we are water. And my sister gave me a water bottle. It's in there, and she's got these stickers.
See?
And it's got mantras on it, and it's like I am abundant or whatever.
Yes.
And a lot of it is like, so we've got the nocebo effect and the placebo effect, right?
Yeah.
And the placebo effect is, you know, you believe it into being, so mote it be. Yeah, exactly. We can do that with water, and I found that too. I did a little experiment a while ago where I was going through lax stuff, and I was like, okay, coding it in now. I'm going to code in that anytime I have a drink of water, that I'm making $5 or whatever, that, or my abundance is growing.
Yes.
Right. Set that intention, and I did it. First off, it got me to hydrate, because sometimes, like, you know, Corey's like, give me some coffee, give me a Coca-Cola, right? So to get me to drink water, you had to pay the motherfucker. You know,
I hear you. I know,
but I had to get my body online. Is like, ugh. And so but with that, I started to not only drive intention into water, right, and working with those plasma codes, but it was, a lot of it was that coding into my reality that every time I do drink water, right, that my abundance is flourishing, or that I'm purifying my vessel, whatever it is, and playing with that. And I like how you use the lotion too, because that's such a key one with self-love.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Is taking that, those water-based systems that we use, whether it's when you're taking a shower, right? Whether it's when you're drinking water, or you're using lotion, or, you know, whatever it might be.
Yeah. Just the day-to-day things that you're habitually doing anyway.
Yeah.
Like, that's
exactly.
the most potent creation areas, I would say.
Yeah.
And mine, if you want to hear mine, is source is my supply. I shall not want with source on my side. That's mine. Oh, it's priceless.
Ooh.
Done it for years. It's a bomb.
I like that.
Yeah.
I want a little bit of what you're cooking. The source food.
Yes.
But that's the thing, is we're the programmers, guys, of our reality. Like, we are the creators.
Have fun with it.
Right.
You know? You're obviously manifesting and creating things. Look around us. We've created a lot of not so pretty stuff. You know, like that shows us our creational abilities right there.
Yeah.
But no matter what level you're at, like, it's up to you to clean it up and want to, you know, build something better.
So, and it's interesting, because I started to, it was Miss Willow that got me into doing this, of programming our fruits and vegetables. Yeah. Hi, Willow. Has been working with oranges and apples. Like, she was like, okay, Corey, like, take this apple, set the intention that it's going to open up your Akashic records. And I ate this apple, and I got rabbit holed so bad. I was like, I'm going to mystery school. I was like, shit. And it was the most delicious apple ever. But I wanted to ask you, because you live on land. Are you growing your own fruits and vegetables?
Yes.
Are you programming them? Are you setting the intention and gridding them?
With mine?
Yes.
I literally am the vessel, like I said. I released control of that to my source self again. And not in a bad way, always in a good way.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me be the vessel for whoever's going to eat this food, which is super funny. Remind me to explain that. Just who we're selling the food to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remind me of that. Okay, so
Okay.
I was like, whoever is gonna eat this, or whoever this is meant to go to, and self included, because I was, it's for us as well. And I
Mhm.
was like, let me be the vessel to channel through the appropriate codes and the appropriate things for each area for the highest good of all, harming absolutely none. And it's automatic. A lot of my stuff is automatic. Like, I'm kind of the laziest light worker, but doing the most at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um, what's hilarious about what I was asking you to remind me of is me and my partner own this business with the food.
Mhm.
We have never advertised. We have never been like, who wants this or who this or who that.
Mhm.
They come to us. We have never,
Oh.
ever had a lack of anything or anything left over or anything. Like, it's incredible. Like, they just show up and they keep showing up, and it just keeps multiplying and doubling like every year.
Yeah.
The amount of what we're creating, the amount of what we're giving to people, the amount of people wanting it,
Yeah.
it's like never ending. And so I was literally, my team was like, we'll bring the people to you. All you have to do is build it and they will come. And I
Like
swear to God, it has happened.
like Wayne's
It's
World.
so cool.
If you
Yeah.
book them, they will come. The naked where he meets Jim Morrison and the naked
Yes,
Indian in the
dude.
desert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The weird naked Indian man. All right.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
but I want to say first off, shout out to your
Yeah.
partner
Yeah.
for holding down such a badass woman and for
Oh man. Thank you.
just being such a supporter.
Yeah.
Just yeah,
He
being
was, he was good.
it's not easy being in a partnership, a conscious partnership, and you're doing it. And I just want to give you
Yeah.
like
Thank
big
you.
kudos and honor
Thank
and
you.
value for
Thank you.
getting it
Thank you.
done and
Thanks.
for serving your source at the same time.
Yeah.
Um, but that was so inspirational because me myself, like I've been going into the new creation and that return to simplicity because myself, man, coming into the heart, like I'm like, I just want to be simple. I don't want this complex, like
Yeah. No, you're meant to go
yeah.
simple. Yeah.
And you just naturally trusting your experience and allowing the universe to deliver the magic to you through you because you
Yeah.
are the magic, trusting that.
Yeah.
Just shout out for holding that field for us and
Thank
for
you.
gifting us the opportunity to know that like we don't have to get online and do the business marketing and all this stuff. Like all
Yeah.
we have to do is show up and care
Yes.
and things will
It puts
shift.
out a frequency and it draws the right people to you.
Yes.
Like, I've been
Yes.
watching the magic that, like, I was observing the light worker community for a really long time, for a
Mhm.
couple years now, and getting ready to, put my toe in the water basically and begin. And I was like, seeing how, okay, when it comes to me creating my own channel, my guides were like showing me other people's stuff. Like, they showed me yours, they showed me Mazone's, they showed me um what's her name, Stephanie from Seraphim Source.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Angel hug.
how she, yes,
Yeah.
love
We love
love
Steph.
your
We
love your
love Steph.
stuff, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
um they showed me how um each person's energy was in what they created, and it was like putting out a big broadcast. It was like, how do I say this? It was showing me that, like, say if my partner built this part of it for me, that my people would not show up, my people would not come, his people would. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, in order to get my right people to come to
Mhm.
me, I
Mhm.
had to create it myself. And I was like, so computer, I don't even know,
Mhm.
not
Mhm.
wanting to participate with computers at all or anything to do with any of that.
Yeah.
That I did, like, I looked for every different way that I could possibly have somebody else build this for me. And like, it, I even had a beautiful sister, Beth George, like, build it and put it right in my hands. And she's like, here you go. And I was like, I can't touch it. And I have no idea why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, I don't fit in it anymore, first off. And
Mhm.
like, no judgment to her or anything. Like, it's a beautiful channel, and I might eventually end up using it in some way, shape, or form. But I was like, that's so crazy that like your frequency that you put out is drawing everything to you that's meant for you, and you can't miss it. You can't not get it. Like it's no contest. There's no competition. Like what's meant to be yours will be yours effortlessly, you know? Because think about it, like when somebody hands you something that you know is yours, you're confident in it. Like usually you don't even bat an eye at it. You're just like, yeah, that's mine, you know, like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like that comfortableness is what I'm pointing out, you
Yeah.
know, is completely different than, oh my God, is it going to come? Oh my God, is it going to be there? You know, like the
Mm-hmm.
frantic worrying.
Yeah.
Like, can
Yeah.
you train yourself to be in the, I'm comfortable, it will come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a surprise when it happens, but you're knowing it'll be there when
Yeah.
exactly when it's meant to be there.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I live on the daily. It served me well,
Yeah.
very well.
And I want to ask you this because I've noticed this when it comes to co-creation, especially with
Yeah.
you and John.
Yeah.
Is have you found that when you and John are co-creating something together, that it's easier for you to detach from the outcome?
How do you mean? Like say it a little,
Mm,
talk around it a little better,
I
detach from
don't
the outcome.
like. I found that I don't know. This might be me because of my fixed states of consciousness and my
No, it's
worry
fine.
role, but
It's
like
fine.
I found that within my own creation, I have implemented and seeded in a little bit too much expectation of how
Mm-hmm.
things are supposed to look or how things align. And that's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the control narrative I've had to dissolve.
Yeah.
But I found when I'm co-creating and I'm in that divine flow, I can
Yeah.
detach a lot more from the experience and open up to the
Yes.
flow because I know I'm not doing it alone.
I just know the outcome. I know
Mm-hmm.
it, like no doubt, zero doubt. I know the outcome
Yeah.
is for my highest absolute best good, and I trust that implicitly. And I won't put any, it attempts to, but I won't put any focus or energy or any creation into anything less. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does.
Yeah.
What helped you to instill that faith in your own life? Because I know you've gone through a lot of shit, and I'm sitting here going, "Girl, I know, like it's me.
Oh
I've
my
got my
God,
own
you have no.
experience." What
Yes,
helped you to bridge that faith in your own life where
I
you
went
knew?
absolutely from the ground bottom. Like they literally showed me my own death in a couple days, and like not anything new. This isn't now, but this was like at the beginning of my awakening, and it
Mm-hmm.
was like it was an overdose from all these medications that I was on from the spinal injury, and it said you have a choice right now. You either leave or you get up and do something different. And I was like, oh damn, okay. And so I had my family, I had my kids. I was like, I don't want to miss that. Like I'm doing something different. And I was at ground floor bottom, rock bottom, as low as it freaking gets. Um, and had to build myself. I just literally was like, what do I have that I did want in my life? Like I looked around my life and I was like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is the, you know, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, so I pointed all that out. What what did I get that I wanted? What did I get that I love? And started putting my focus there. And as soon as I did that, it changed quick and went up insanely fast. Everybody around me started doing the same thing. They would notice my changes and change in themselves accordingly based on those changes. So like even though I wasn't articulating a lot of this to everybody else, they still benefited it from it. Not only just I'm talking like the whole town of people noticed these changes and changed accordingly. And I was like, dang, that's a lot of reach. That's a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of everything. And the whole time we were stuck in this little, well, not stuck. I loved this little house. We had this little 2-bedroom house. We had 3 kids with 2 bedrooms, and that's tight, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When they were really little, it wasn't a big deal, but as they started to get older, it was a big deal. And not only that, it was like one was a girl and there's 2 boys. So like, you know what I mean? Like we've lived the hardcore is my point. And my guidance was what I said before, where source is my supply, I shall not want with source on my side. And it was like, at this point, him and I were both living this completely and wouldn't give any attention or focus to anything less than that. And I swear to God, the universe and the world shifted to fit us getting the house, not only the house of our dreams, but the land of our dreams. And the realtor signed, literally, the realtor company was called No Doubt. And my guidance the whole time was to have absolutely no doubt that it was going to happen and it was going to come. We ended up being able to afford things that we never would have, like, we made money on the house that we sold enough to be able to purchase this one easily. And just like after that one, I was like sky's the limit, guys. Like, what are we waiting for? Let's create something beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, like, we have no idea how powerful we are. All you got to do is believe it 100% and settle for nothing less, you know, than your personal best every day. That's what I live. That's my motto, you know, even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when it sucks, you know, like they're having me walk out of an injury at this moment and building my own freaking airplane ladder right back out, you know?
Yep. So, let's rebuild the spine, dude. Rebuild that support network.
Yes.
And it's built to your frequency and your essence. Right. Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, it's not only that you are the support, you are the ladder, you are the miracle. Yes. You are the faith. And like the fact that like I'm so in awe and I'm super emotional right now. Like Corey's emo self is coming out because I can relate. I love you too, dude. I love you so much. Like you're such an important part of my life. Like number one best friend, top sister. Our weaving is so cool too. We'll talk, we'll disappear for like a month and then like realign. Just so perfect, and which I like because I'm such a fickle little beast. You cannot tie me down to anything. I'm like, no, get out of here. But thank you for sharing that, because you know I had that moment recently too, of that flash of insight of knowing that I didn't have long left to live and something needed to shift, right? And that's the catalyst for change. And I've had a few moments of those where that's like it's kind of like this in a very abrupt way for me. It was, listen here, motherfucker, you got to rise. Time to rise to the occasion of who you are.
Or it's gonna get hot in here.
Oh yeah, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. No.
Like on fire, move your ass kind of way.
Yeah, and that's a key of this way of living in life. These timelines that have been propagated aren't serving, and they're collapsing. And it's like, when the building is burning, do you jump the fuck out and get out of Dodge, or try to save a sinking ship? No. And that's a big one, is that we're all going through at some level and have encountered, is the disruption and the catalyst of awakening, which is the transcending of our illusion, right? We go into the dark night of the human, we lose our shit. But like the key thing there is sometimes the light isn't given to us. We have to find the light within that moment. Yes. And I love that you shared that you were like, it forced you to shine brighter and to go bigger than you have before.
Yes. And that was insurmountable, I thought. Right. You know, I had given up like so much at that point, almost damn near everything but my kids and my partner. Like everything else, I just was like, I don't even care anymore. Like, if you want to destroy yourself out there, I'm not being part of it. I literally like had wrote myself off of ever going back into the public, like more than just day-to-day stuff ever again. You know, like that's pretty hardcore, you know, to have such a turnaround of that. So I guess I'm an example for that. I guess.
You're a huge example. Yeah. Huge example. And I think it's really important.
If I can do it, anybody can do it too. I want to say, like, it is possible for everyone.
I think it's really important now more than ever too, that not only for anyone in the world, but for women to hear your story and to see that you can rise up. And like, you've only scratched the surface. There's so much more to share. And that's why I'm so excited
very complex.
Really excited to hear more of your story and to unpack more of this with you and to see your channel thrive. I cannot wait for it to get up online. I know. But I want to ask you, because of the sake of time, I have a session that I need to get to in a little bit, but I wanted to ask you, and then we're going to go into the victory lap activation, which I'm so excited for.
You got to add to some of that too. You got to narrate a little as well.
Yeah, I'll try. I might just speak some puta mariata, or I might just speak some light into it. But okay, so now that you've gone through this experience and you're here in this present moment as the whole self, unified with all of you, what is your faith, and what do you see for the future of humanity?
What is my faith?
Like, what's your light? Like, kind of like, what's your light at the end of the tunnel? If you were the hermit card, right? Like, what is that light? What is that Gabriel's lantern?
All right. Just recently with this challenge where I fell the lowest, or so-called lowest, that I've been in a very long time, it showed me a visual of my circumstance. And it literally showed me right here, and it showed in front of me was like all this little beings, little dark beings, I guess you'd call them, little I see them as like little naughty children. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And it, like, all of them were kind of like looking down and looking, you know, regular. And there was one that was looking up at me, and it was like, does she see me? Does she see me? He's like, I don't think she sees me. And like, I was like, yes, I see you. And literally, he's like, oh shit. And then like all the other ones were like, oh my gosh, she sees. It was kind of comical for a second. I'm like, this is such a play. Like, it's such a play. You know what I mean? And it literally showed, I was like looking around my everything that I thought I had to do. I thought I had to go this way, and I thought I had to take care of all these things that were the reasons why I wasn't making videos. And every one of them, as I looked around, showed me every one of them was full of these little things. And they're almost like your friends in some way, shape. I know this sounds really ridiculous at this moment, but let me explain. It's almost like they're like, if you're not ready to wake up yet, we'll be here. Like, they're your safety net of darkness that you feel comfortable in every day. And it's just like, because there was no malice, there was no I'm out to get you. They were just like, this is my job, and this is my frequency, and this is what I do. This is why I'm here. And I was like, oh my God, it's ridiculous. And I'm like, okay, if all of that isn't me, even the clothes that I felt the most comfortable in when I was looking at them from the site, it was like permission slips to feel sorry for yourself clothes. Does that make sense? And I had considered those like my healing clothes, like right prior to this. You know what I mean? Well, on the other side of this, I was like looking around. I'm like, okay, if all of that is not me, I was kind of a little like at that moment, because I was like, oh, that's every direction I thought I had to go. And I was like, if none of that is me, then what is me right now? And it showed me way at the back, right, standing right here, is the most perfect me that I ever did see. And I was just like, I cried. I was like, are you serious? And they're like, feel her for a second. And she had zero pain. Like, I've carried around pain, insane amounts of pain, for 17 years straight, looking for the solution of how to fix this, how to heal this, how to mend this, how to, like, I was like, I can't continue being here hurting this much. Like, it's horrible. It literally showed me all of it was these little energies coming every day, that somewhere along the line, some version of me felt comfortable having them there, desired them to be there, almost like, I don't even know how to explain it. And I was tuning into my me that was just shining. And as I did, I was able to see like galactic Gaia, cosmic Gaia, whatever you want to call it, New Earth Gaia. And it says it's right here all along. Like, it's right here all along. Like, this is authentically you every day. This is the illusion that they pretend is you every day. You are actually this pure ass vessel that has, like, right now. And I was like, as soon as I realized this and like it sunk in, every one of those beings scattered. And for a day and a half, I walked around with none of them. I haven't had a day like that in 17 years. 17 fucking years. And like I was able to embody it again for a day and a half, like I said, and it slowly started to come back. These little beings, my guidance right now was to not associate with them as me,
Mhm.
to how do you say it? Treat them with respect. They, to be like, I don't need that anymore. I don't associate with that anymore. And by doing so, I'm building a new version of myself that is no longer in pain and physicalizing it. And like it tried to make me forget it, as it went away, I was like, I had trouble believing it. But that version of me that was so pure is so stuck in my consciousness that I can't let go of that. And literally, like, that's guiding me through it to do it. Sorry, I made you cry.
Yeah, you get me all emotional.
That's my life, guys.
Yep. Well, it's good because I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, and it's an essence that I think that's the reason we're all here. Like, and that's the reason I know for myself why I don't give up and why I still keep going is it's like to tap into that most pure, innocent self that isn't judged, that isn't blamed, that isn't shamed, that isn't persecuted, that doesn't walk with the weight of the conditioning and the societal stuff and just all of the complications that come with being a human, and just dissolving all that to return back to just pure essence. And to know too that like you will be born again through this, like through everything that we've gone through in our life, through
most beautiful journey,
collective, but ourselves, we will be born again into what it is to be that purified essence, or as close as we can get to touching that in this lifetime. Because I recognize that unfortunately some people will never know what that feeling is. And I guess my open heart signal to humanity in the clarion call is that we all get that moment to witness the magic and to feel that birth again of who we are as just pure light. So then we can allow all the residue of everything else just fall away. And we can return back to our magic and begin to create and play from that source spark.
Remember that it's here now already. You already are that. You just got to remember it. You've got to catch up, basically.
Yes.
Where you're at. Yeah. And it can't be hidden from you, anymore, is my point.
I can't. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us, Angela. Thank you. Are you ready to go into this go goddess mode and let Nike lead the way?
I suppose.
Or whatever it is that you want to bring forward, because I know you got other versions, but
well, Source and her kind of work together constantly. They're right next to each other. So let's give her an opportunity to see where we want to go today. All right, everybody go into their sacred space in their heart. Check in with your teams. I'm going to ask them to give you, let's say, like an astronaut suit, like a helmet to contain your energy and just go on an adventure. Let's say I've never done this before. I have no idea what I'm doing. Let's just see what occurs. All right. They want you. I'm speaking in the third person, but she's telling me what to say. She wants you to now step into each one of your chariots. Everybody's got a chariot, and to follow our chariot. And we're going to do the first victory lap around the earth that says we won, that says we made it. Tap into the energy of the celebration of the day this occurs for all humanity. Feel that energy. The excitement, the cheers, the brave people that built the way, that paved the path. Start by expressing gratitude to each one of the teachers that made this so, to each one of the people that stood up on camera no matter how hard it was, no matter how much interference this created in their lives by doing so. Those brave enough to speak their truth and be heard. Let's give everybody gratitude. Big, big, big gratitude for every one of them that's helping people out of these situations. Let's turn around and give ourselves gratitude for being the people that watched the videos, for the people that supported these people being up there. Massive respect for you as well. You are a part of this. You have a giant part of this that you don't even realize. They can't do it without you. You need both. Let's connect into the cosmic Gaia, the galactic Gaia grid of New Earth. I'm seeing things popping out all over the place in celebration. I'm seeing Gaia as uniquely expressing herself differently to each individual person based on their energy frequency. This place is never-ending possibilities. Everything positive is possible. Everything's harmonious. Everything feels like bliss. Your personal, authentic bliss is your everyday. Feel this, embody this now. Anchor this into your reality. Let's tap into the trees. All the trees on the planet. Let's feel them for a minute. Ooh, tree collective. Let's give appreciation to all the trees that cleaned our air, that cleaned our energy, that gave their lives for us over and over and over again. Just much gratitude for this and everything they've ever done. I'm feeling the plants and the animals and the birds and everything celebrating with us. We made it. We made it. We've been encouraging you the whole time. We made it. We made it. We did it. Feel this. Feel the respect of having made it, of having done it, done the undoable. Oh my goodness. Just much gratitude for everybody that's walked this path. Much, much gratitude. Source is so proud. Corey, where do we go from there?
I want to take a moment to show gratitude for the archetypes. I'm feeling like I need to show some gratitude to the mother and father and the journey that leads us back to wholeness and oneness.
Yes.
The journey of union with ourself, the journey of the union back to the spark, to the essence of soul.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling guided to bring through some light language for the family, just as an energetic support, as a blessing, a showing of gratitude, but also an honoring of transformation, an honoring of the phoenix,
Yes.
and an honoring of our victory on our journey moving forward.
Yeah.
Darushkundu kanda inda shirakata dana averi tingo ukenda baya nehetindo hokenala nezar ustur unde shayenda vakai nuhukenda rashiraka da ara hundu urushkundu ba atiri titi ikia. Thanking the builders, thanking the coders, thanking the grid keepers, thanking the gatekeepers, thanking the way showers, thanking the divinators, the prophetic ones.
Oh yeah.
Nista urchtinga uhunga ka nehita seheti ibu hukunda.
Beautiful. The sun's calling. Everybody wants to go fly by the sun. Don't get burned.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go check it out.
Let's do it. Let's go check it out.
Ooh.
Let's get that nuclear heart online.
Yes. Solaris, full force. Much gratitude for you, for everything you brought through every day, for all the codes and all being the place that everyone can hook into every day, no matter where they are in the world, whether it's cloudy or not, the sun is still there and you are still able to connect and pull from the source. And thank you for being that source all this time. And gratitude for every role you play. Moon included as well. Same, 100% same. Where to now, guys? Let's go give a hug to everybody that's sad and could use a little help today.
Yes.
Let's go spread the light, spread the love, spread the excitement, spread the word. We won. Like we won. We found our way home. We did the undoable. Look how far away we went. And we won. We made it home. We made it back. As one, we put ourselves back together again. And this is, oh my gosh, priceless in every single way. I'm not sure how to bring this one back. You want to close?
Yeah, I just want really quickly, I want to give everyone their angel wings back. That's ready to bring them
Ooh,
back
yay.
online. Let's get our wings on, because there's been so much getting the seraphim wings on and getting the wings back that I want to globally for who's ready.
Ooh,
for
globally,
all,
I love that.
For all the angels, right?
Yes.
I want to give you back your angel wings, get your halo back online.
Yay.
And let's get our archangelics, our seraphim, our high angelics on all levels to just come down and to celebrate, get the kids' angel wings back online. Yes. Asahala ate hene et udo ushka aya nahate era na ate ase na uaha.
I'm hearing, take a look around. Do you see all the people that are not people, beings that are supporting us? Do you see how popular you are? Do you see how important you are? Do you see how many encouraged us all along the way? Gratitude, their gratitude to you right now. Same, both. Come on, I just said it. Where to go? Come on. The angelics, the galactics, all are supporters of the highest absolute best good. Want you to open and receive that which is meant for you through my field today, through them, through this experience. Whatever can help you the most, I give to you now. This could be replayed as well. My gift to you. All right, they want us to come back and into our bodies, ground this back into Mother Earth, into the cosmic grid. We won. We effing did it.
Oh, we
Good
did.
job. Celebrate.
And I want everyone to breathe down deep into their root. I want them to come back all the way into the body.
Yes, right? All the way. Take your helmet off.
Take your helmet off. Anywhere that you come back in your purified form, anywhere that you might have given away your free will, you've given away your freedom or autonomy, bring it back. Command your sovereignty, everything. All your gifts, all your abilities, all your codes, all your DNA. We want you streamlined back into the unified self, the whole self.
Return to senders to each and all their very own now, all automatically. And so it is.
And so it is. Wow.
Wow. Did you feel that?
Yes. And I felt the hug of all the masters, and I was seeing
that was so cool.
So many rainbows, very Avalonian in the feel. Like I was seeing
the goddess, the rainbow.
Yes. I was seeing goddess Iris, actually. Ooh. which has to do with the rainbow, the goddess of the rainbow coming through. And there was just this really overwhelming feeling of light, of warmth, of home.
Yes.
And just really knowing within that we've already won.
Yes.
And as a result, it's like we are tapping into that future essence of that quantum knowing of where we are in that most like beautiful expression of ourselves, and really calling that forward and feeling the celebration, which is interesting because you were able to bring in an extremely powerful dynamic of the celebration of divinity within ourselves and how the divine celebrates us, and being able to really feel the clarity of this. And that's why I love talking to you because of the knowing that you hold within. Because I'm still dissolving my polarity in every now moment, and I just wanted to say thank you for your gift. Thank you for your
Me
magic.
too. Yes. Same.
Thank you for bringing us home.
All of you. Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
thinking all your crowd, everyone.
Yes.
I appreciate every single one of you.
Yes.
You are
Thank
important.
you.
You are here for a reason.
Yes.
What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Well, and it's more the victory lap, right? Because there's been a few times where I actually was I did readings that were all about victory, right? And this was during when we were really coming up into our empowerment. And the thing is, guys, is I want you to, if you feel guided, to tune back to this, right? Because I know that this journey, and I know I can speak for myself here, is that this journey does bring up a lot of mysteries within our own lives, a lot of unknowing, and a lot of crud, right? And so to really remember that we already won, that the light is here, and that victory has been reached, and we're just assembling what our new earth is to us, and then how that expressed through the collective.
You are each victorious.
Exactly.
In every single way. Don't forget.
Yes. No. And remember, when it comes to the thing, just do it.
Yes. Be brave.
Just do it. Just do it. Be brave and just do it. AngelA, is there any final words you have for the audience before we sign out here?
Just remember who you are. Keep going. Don't give up. If I can make it from the absolute bottom to where I am today, so can you.
Thank you.
We're doing it together. Don't forget, you're never alone.
Yes. Is there any way that you, this is only if you're up for it, if you feel like you would want to open up for people to communicate with you or just send you gratitude or well wishes on your journey, is there any way that people could contact you that you'd feel comfortable sharing with us?
I'm going to say video number 2, I will give you that.
Okay.
I haven't set it up quite yet, but I will.
Perfect.
My next step.
Awesome. Well, until then, guys, please feel free to leave a comment.
From you.
Yeah, and
I will read comments.
Leave a comment. AngelA will be over here, and we will see you again on this channel and on other channels. This is just
I definitely want to come back.
You'll be back. You'll be back. You'll be back for sure. You'll be back. You're going to be a staple here. So once again, thank you guys. Thank you for supporting my work. Thank you for showing up and supporting AngelA. If you want to leave a comment, please do. All the links are going to be in the description box, at least for my end of things. Until next time, guys, victory's here. Yes. We won.
Remember your victory lap.
Remember your victory lap. And welcome home. All right, guys.
We're almost there, yes.
We love you.